So thank you guys for joining us here in the CCBill Lab. I wanted to, introduce one of our premier partners here with NATS and Too Much Media for you guys to learn a little bit more about what their affiliate system and currently how they work with CCBill today and what they're doing for Merchants Day. So we have Nicholas is going to present for us as well as John. So we just want to open the floor for those guys. Quick presentation. John mentioned he's going to do a demo, and then we open it up for Q&A. So any questions you have, you're more than welcome to sit back and have that conversation, and then we can continue to have conversations until around 1:45. And if you want to continue conversations at that point, we can go to the room next door to us, and you can set up and talk a little bit more with John and Nicholas about their solutions. So I just open up the floor for you guys to take over.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Chris.
How's everybody?
Good.
See some familiar faces here. How many people are familiar with NATS? We have a couple I've talked to before. Who is a current client? Anybody current clients? You're a current client? Okay, perfect. So what do you see NATS as? What is it perceived NATS is? What kind of software is NATS in the industry that you hear? Because one of the things we're trying to get away from is everybody sees it as affiliate software and affiliate software only. And NATS does a lot more than that, and we've really tried to coin it as a business management software. It's not just you're managing your affiliates anymore. The market's changed, it's evolved quite a bit, and NATS has been incorporating billing solutions such as CCBill with our partnerships with them and many other processors in the industry, as well as your membership management. So we handle a lot of different areas. So labeling it so much as an affiliate software isn't the proper terminology, so we're trying to get everybody and educate a little bit more. Nick?
Yeah, so as you said, it's primarily a business management tool. Most people know it for the affiliate tracking tools because we have it the most built out. It was catered towards affiliates for sure at the beginning. But as we worked with our clients more, we integrated more billers, we integrated more features that they needed to build their business out, such as easily cross-selling, upselling, emailing their members and affiliates to keep them in the loop, get new sales that way. And basically what it comes down to is we have ways for you to have incremental gains on your revenue. So the cost of NATS ends up being covered by the incremental gains that you get from the features that we offer.
Yeah, so there's various features, and what we like to say in the office is our clients generally use about 15 to 20% of the capabilities within NATS.
Which may be fine, but
if you want to gain an extra 5% here, 5% there of revenue growth, implementing some of these different features and different ways of doing things will help you grow your business, and it opens up different partnerships for you with other industry peers. Want to go into a demo?
sure.
So we're going to open up the software, and obviously one of the things you'll see is our affiliate side. And this is the affiliates section. Now I'll let Nick talk a little bit about the affiliate side of it.
So this is the portion that your affiliates will be familiar with if you have them. This is where they check their stats, come into their quick overview to see how they're doing in comparison to previous periods. You'll see we have different ways to compare different time ranges.
And this is all just the initial dashboard when you come in, so you'll get to see a snapshot of what's going on for your day, your period, or however you decide to change it based on the slider.
Yeah, we have various different ways for the affiliate to view it, either by table, graph, or if they have external programs that they want to import it to, we give them feeds as well. I find that some of the more larger affiliates have been using the feeds and analyzing data as well outside of NATS and inside of NATS. It might be more common for you guys now. If you have affiliates, they may be asking about it. I'm sure if for those of you who haven't seen it, this is where the affiliates get their link codes to promote your site. We don't just give them link codes, we give you a way to give them creatives or ad tools. I don't know what the common term is anymore, but we call it ad tools in NATS. Actually, I do want to ask that. Do you guys find it's called creatives now, or is it still ad tools for your affiliates that they want? What do they ask for when they're asking for promotional material? They still call it ad tools?
Link codes.
Yeah. So we've kind of drilled it into their heads with our terminology with link codes and ad tools, because of the 15 years of using it,
Right.
and affiliates are so used to it, so it's been coined that, but the evolution of marketing has changed it a bit, so more of the mainstream, we're more aware in the adult space of the mainstream terminology now. Everybody's scrambling to understand what's an ECPM and what's your ROIs and, you know, COACs and all these other different terminologies that really weren't used as much, so it's changed quite a bit. So
They're quickly crossing over.
yeah,
So
so we're getting a nice crossover there from the mainstream to the adult side and vice versa.
yeah. So this is the affiliate section if you haven't seen it. I think other than that, we just have more detailed stats for them to go into. They have account settings, sticky settings, so that when they come in, they could get all their tools very quickly and easily. Then we could go into the admin side. Excuse the old look, we're actually working on a new interface for this side.
Some of you might have heard we're in design of our next level platform. It's NATS, but the next version, so it'll be NATS 5 or whatever we wind up terming it. And this is was our main focus, the admin side. It's going to be completely responsive. We did a lot of flow changes and a lot of customizations for reporting. Brought it back up into 2016, 2017, the time frame it should be. It needed an update. We focused on the affiliates because that's really been a driving force for our software. Affiliates trust the software, they trust the statistics that come across. So when you hear a new program coming up, most of them are saying, hey, what software can we use? And affiliates on the boards, on forums, you know, social media, they'll all tell you NATS. NATS is the platform that you want to use because the affiliates trust it. And if you're doing any kind of affiliate marketing, in order to capture those affiliates, they want to know you're using software that's good for you.
So to get back into the tools that we have for clients, we were talking about billing processors and how many we have integrated, such as the main ones is CCBill. There's bigger ones. We have a pretty large list of integrated billers, as you can see.
Yeah, if you happen to be working with another company, one of the other biller companies, I believe we have about 120 now integrated with us. CCBill being one of our main partners, but we have 120 different processing options for you. So if you have merchant accounts or whatnot with them, it's more than likely that they're in here already.
And this admin is one of the key tools that people have been using from the beginning. Is everybody familiar with what cascading is? Mm-hmm. So in NATS, we give you the tool to set up multiple billers. You can set them up in different orders and split test what order is the best for, let's say, a specific region or a specific site. As you may know, the different banks have different rules and restrictions on what they can accept from the customer. So if it fails at one biller, you can send them to a backup processor and see if they get accepted there. And you may find that when you test, that one biller does better than the other, or you may find that even though they do better, the fees outweigh the benefits. So we give you the tools to actually analyze all that data and figure out which is the best payment solution for you and your sites.
And with the cascading, like you said, you can go through CCBill and Epic and SightPay, whoever it might be, and set it up in your format, and you can also geo-target those. So maybe an Epic doesn't do Germany processing or UK processing. Now you can take one that does, put them at the forefront, and put them with the different payment methods, and allows you to really capture that conversion.
Another common usage might be to split traffic between merchant IDs so that you don't overflow one with chargebacks, for example. Hopefully you don't get any of those, but
It's inevitable.
Yeah, I do help clients set this up a lot where they want to split it between two merchant IDs and make sure it gets balanced evenly so that they can split their chargebacks and not get one merchant ID shut down.
Yeah, keeps their percentages low and balanced through multiple merchants.
Any questions so far? Let's see. Another tool that's not as commonly used as I thought it would be is the mailing admin. We actually give you tools to mass mail your members and affiliates. We give you a way to target specific scenarios. For example, if they joined from a specific site and canceled, and you want to target members that canceled specifically for, like, let's say, a discount offer or a discount link. We have the tools built in to help you do that through NATS, through your NATS server, or through a custom SMTP mailer server if you have that set up. It's usually more common to do it that way, just in case anything goes wrong with bounces. You don't want that tied to your main server. So also, one thing people will use this for is mailing affiliates new promotional tools or material. I believe we're also working on having a way to mail them stats as well. That way they'll get a quick overview of their recent stats. Is there anything else that you guys usually use mailing for that I didn't just mention? I'm just curious, just for those things. Want to make sure we have everything you guys need.
New site launches, new, basic new content, new ideas. We have sometimes ask them, what do you like to see, feedback, but basically nothing new.
Okay.
But we do use it and try to improve from the feedback.
Makes sense.
And that's important, yeah. The affiliate interaction especially.
Yeah.
Back and forth with the affiliates, learning what they need, what they want. I do the same thing. I'm on forums, social media. I'm reaching out to all of your affiliates and all of our clients' affiliates, trying to get feedback from them, what they want to see at the end of the day, because it's only going to help you.
Well, if we notice like an affiliate all of a sudden there's no joins coming or there's few joins and he used to be at 30, 40, 50 join a month, why? What are we doing wrong? What's not working? Is there broken link?
Is there something you can help them with?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that interaction is a key part of their business. And a lot of people don't utilize it the way it should be. So this is here, and with our newer versions and as we roll out more, we're gonna have more educational and kind of filtered down information on how to accomplish a lot of this. A lot of people see NATS or hear NATS throughout the industry and, oh my God, it's so complicated. We're moving away from it being so much a technical to being much more intuitive, so you're going to be able to go onto a page and know exactly what you're doing instead of having to refer over to the technical wiki in order to get it accomplished and have a developer maintain it all. It's going to be more, an affiliate manager can get in there and you need a new site set up, they'll be able to do it themselves just by following a tutorial or a video or simple guidance.
And then hopefully the interface itself is just easy enough where they know what they're clicking and it does what they need to do. Let's see.
Do upsells, cross sells.
Yeah, upsells and cross sells. This is very common for our clients. It's a little bit more of the difficult setup that people encounter. Once you learn it once, though, it gets a little bit easier as you go. It's also different between each biller, so that gets kind of confusing for people. So usually, if that is your case, you would hit up our support, and I would help you through all of that. But cross-sells are a big way to increase your revenue if you aren't utilizing it already, especially if you have sites within your own network that you can cross-sell or upsell to members that exist. And alternatively, like he was saying before, you can meet people here, different peers of the industry, and partner up with them, send them X amount of cross-sells, or work out some kind of deal with them where you get rev share for the cross-sells that you send them and vice versa. Do you guys commonly do that within your own network or with partners? Do you usually have problems doing it within your own network or partners?
We're about to start doing both cross-sells and upsells, and it's I'm charged with doing that part of it, and I'm kind of scared. I'll probably be hitting you up
Definitely.
this week or next week.
I completely understand.
But, I read up enough about it, and we have an open ticket, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to the support staff. They walk you through it. We really kind of nail down support. Support's been one of the top things about our software is there. It's great, but our support is there. If you don't get a hold of us, and usually we say half hour, it's rare. We're already reaching out to contact you. We're very supportive of our software and our clients. So you need walkthroughs to literally set you up. We do it with you and make sure that you're taken care of, basically.
Even sometimes for the newer clients, I'll kind of be a consultant almost, like they're asking, they want to do this, but they don't know what's entailed.
Right.
And I'll try to lead them in the right direction to get it all set up.
Do you have any percentage of your clients that have cross sales versus people that don't have cross sales? Because we noticed on some of the reviews on our sites, be careful about the cross sale, be careful about, that's troublesome when it gets to a reviewer site sometimes.
I don't have an exact percentage, but I do see it more commonly than not. To me, at least in my mind, I would think as long as you're upfront and honest about the cross-sell, like it's not a hidden thing that you can't uncheck.
The pre.
No, it's uncheckable.
It's
but
uncheckable.
usually
Is
it's
it really
checked.
tiny print?
It's page 7 of the
Oh.
Samsung,
That-
of the Samsung
well then.
warranty.
Yeah, and you don't. Yeah, exactly. And you don't know it, and that caused problems back in like 2008 or 2007 specifically.
Right.
There was a lot of that, a lot of pre-checked boxes going out, and they're charging a lot of people, making a lot of money. But then your chargeback rates go up. You lose your merchant accounts.
So some
At the end of
people
the day,
like
it's
to
not
bury
worth it.
them. Other people have
Right
them
up front.
Yeah.
right up front. They know it's there. If they don't uncheck it, it's pretty obvious. So I do see that complaint, but I don't know if it's a concern because people are still doing it, still making money from it. I think it's a probability game at that point. How many people are actually going to charge back because of that versus those who forget about it and just leave it alone?
It's percentages. Once you can
Right.
figure out your percentages and what works best for you.
Have you found that actually affects your normal joins when you get those kind of reviews?
Usually, well, it definitely affects when it gets to the review stage. When someone like Rabbit Reviews say, or somebody complains, there's complaints about it enough to there, they put it on, post it. It's extremely hard to get that review off of there because they think it takes 3 or 4 years before they re-review your site. So we're very cautious about saying we're very upfront with it. And usually the reviewer who answers the complaint says they're very upfront with it. We're not a hidden cross-sell.
It's not something
But there
that's
are-
buried somewhere and they
Page
find it
7
on their
of the
credit card
Samsung
bill 5 days
warranty.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Process.
What?
Process, no. Reading.
Oh, okay. Aside from cross sells, upsells is the other form of it. So does everyone know the difference between the two?
No.
One happens during the initial join, which would be the cross sell. Those are the check boxes we were just talking about that may look hidden sometimes. An upsell usually happens from within your members area. Like you have another site within your network and you want to one-click upsell them to your other sites. That would be an upsell in that case. And it's 2 different setups in NATS. It has a system for upsells to be one-click setups in your members area. That way, again, they don't have to refill out their payment information. It goes through with the same biller that they joined with initially.
So it's after the initial membership registration.
Yeah, so we interface with all the biller APIs for you rather than you having to go up and look up their documentation and figuring out how to set up the upsell as a one-click in your area for each of your different billers. And then figuring out which biller your member joined with to give them the right link.
Who thinks this sounds complicated so far for people who aren't using NATS? Yeah, that's
Nope.
doing a good job.
Killing it.
Touch on some reporting.
Yeah, so another tool that's not immediately obvious to people is the reports. So people just think it's data sometimes, but when you actually analyze the data properly, you can figure out where all your traffic's coming from, which affiliate's doing the best for you, which one gets the most chargebacks, for example. Maybe one affiliate sends you the most sales but gets the most chargebacks. You want to know these kind of things so that you can approach the affiliate and work with them to do better. Or if they're fraudulent, cut them off. So this admin, while a little bit archaic at the moment, it does have the tools that you would need to make certain business decisions to help your business. One of the most common filters that people use is the breakdown. So you have your stats by date by default. If you go down, you'll see, hey, this period I got so many monies. And then if you want to see where it came from, you're usually going to have to break it down by something. So let's say I want to see what site is bringing me the most money, for example. We can break down by site pretty quick, and then we give you a broken down version of the stats that says, hey, this site made this much money. Here's the pie chart of your network, pretty much. This site obviously is your big money maker. You might want to start letting that sit and focus on your other sites to build them up to be the same amount, or you might want to focus on that mainly if that's your, your little baby that you want to have grow up to be the master. It's not just breakdowns by sites. So we allow you to break down by program too, which is the way you pay out your affiliates. That's pretty commonly used to figure out whether or not your program structures and payout structures with your affiliates are actually working for your business. So some people try to do these crazy paper signups. Like I saw like $60 paper signup one time, and it just didn't make sense to me. So when you go into their reports, you may see, hey, it doesn't make sense up front, but these actually rebill a lot, so it ended up being worth it. So
The lifetime
you can
value of, the lifetime value of the customer, they already figured out through the data that's here. You figure out the lifetime value of the customer. It helps what you're promoting. So when you're doing a paper sale, for example, you're putting usually a large chunk of money up front in hopes that after analyzing all your data, you're going to recoup a profit at the end of it. So you see some $7,500 paper sales, and at the end of the day, they've analyzed that, and they know at the end of the day their average consumer is buying $150 worth, so there's a $50 profit right there.
And then that's where it also gets back to affiliates, where some affiliates may follow that trend, others may not. So you may want to put specific affiliates in one program and the other affiliates in another, for example, rev share, so that if they don't recur as many times as you'd like, they only get 50% of each sale rather than a $60 up front and then they cancel. Does that all make sense? Still no questions? No?
Questions don't start for 5 minutes.
Oh, whoops. Well, as I'm going through, I want to make sure I'm not saying anything that's confusing people.
Yeah, we're touching on most of the commonly used points on the software, and there's a lot of different ins and outs that you can use. Promotional admins, we have skins and templates. You can customize all the templates within the system. So your mailing templates, your actual admin templates, your admin system, and as the new version comes out, it's going to be even more robust. You're going to be able to do a lot more changes with it. Go on with the reporting. Show them the various different types of reports that are pre-established.
So yeah, it's not just the profit and loss report. We do have a list of other reports that you can look at. Retention would be the one for rebills and finding out customer lifetimes, your average customer lifetime. You can see how many rebills that people get to before they end up canceling. A lot of times people look at the reporting admin and don't even see this little box. They don't realize that there's other reports there for them to utilize. So I try to point that out to our newer customers, help them see that we do give you various different reports. Some of them are more robust than others. So
Cascade activity.
yeah, we also have a report for cascade activity. I know I talked before about split testing and seeing which processor ends up being better for you. The cascade activity report actually will show you what steps of the cascades your surfers are reaching. So that's pretty important to know. You want to know that they are actually reaching your backup processor, because if you see 0 hits there and you're like, hey, I set up that second biller and they're not getting there, then you know you have a problem. So this is, yeah?
Question, how long should anyone test a biller setup? Like, first, second, third, fourth, or whoever, how many you have, how long the testing period should be to get valuable, reliable data on choosing who you
Which one?
use first?
I think that varies between each client. Depending on how much traffic you actually get, you may need a longer period of time to get enough data to make a good decision on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that go into that. The amount of traffic, your transaction levels, where the traffic's coming from. So it's, I would say no less than 90 days. And kind of, that gives you a nice range of data there to analyze, and then you can segment that out. 90 days would be a good starting point in my eyes.
Yeah, that's what made me. I just wanted to know if it's 2 weeks or 2
Yeah,
months or 5 months.
I try to get as much data because you can get a small sampling somewhere, and you'll get that small sampling, but that's not accurate because maybe you did a media buy here, or you had affiliate sign up and he just blasted some fraudulent traffic in, or so go a little longer term, and that would probably be the best bet for you.
So aside from billers, we also have third parties, or more commonly known as white labels, integrated with us. So if you have a site with your content on it and you want to add a CAM section, for example, but you don't have the CAM software or the CAM models or anything, you can actually promote other existing CAM sites through your own members area and monetize your traffic with them. So if people on your members area are interested in CAM models as well, they'll go and sign up with this white label third party that you have partnered with, and you would get a certain percentage of those sales, whatever you work out with that partner. We have some bigger names integrated with us, Adult Friend Finder, Dating Gold, I think they're both here, Stream8,
Yeah.
also here. And the way it works is we send them off to your white label site, they purchase, and then our scripts will pull them in and show you how many sales you got from it, and whether or not it was from an affiliate's traffic as well. That way, if you want to give your affiliate some credit for sending a member that was also interested in your white labels, you can do that as well, which is pretty important to the affiliates. They'll really appreciate that. They may bend over backwards for you because you're being honest and giving them the credit they're due.
Touch on what did it say, other members admin.
So members admin, this is where you will manage your existing customers. It's not just your active customers. We have never joined, active, and inactive, which would be expired. Their expire date has passed and canceled, so they're no longer active. We give you a way to add manual members up here. For example, if you have to give a biller an account for auditing or checking out your site before they allow your merchant account.